Teams are nearing the end of their practice for the 2018 Wisconsin State High School Mixed Doubles Championship. I'm Phil Browler here with you from Motion Plus Lanes. A little bit of history in this event. Two teams from the Waukesha South High School, West High School Co-op making the championship round here, along with the team from Racine Park, and our defending champions from Oak Creek High School also in the mix as well. Two matches for our semifinals. Winner of each of those semifinals advanced to the championship. And we'll be back with that match. Start things off for Motion Plus Lanes after this short break. Why just watch the action when you can be part of the action at Sabre Laser Tag in Pewaukee? Take the challenge in one of two 5,500 square foot arenas. Battle it out with family and friends using realistic military-style weapons. Come out and celebrate a birthday. Bring out your employees or coworkers for team building. Or take advantage of our specials running Monday through Thursday. Check us out on the web at sabertag.com.
Live, on demand, worldwide, Extra Frame is always on. It's the online bowling channel. Watch live qualifying rounds and match play from every PBA Tour stock and every PBA 50 Tour event on your big screen, PC, mobile phone, or tablet. Archived nationally televised shows and content is available 24/7. Extra Frame is always on. Subscribe now at www.extraframe.tv.
Crowd is fired up and ready for our first semifinal match here from the 2018 Wisconsin High School Mixed Doubles Championship. A team from Waukesha South and West High Schools in a co-op program taking on Oak Creek. And in one half of last year's team champions for this mixed doubles event, Kat Martirana starting things off for Oak Creek, leaves the 4-pin, comes up high. Martirana, a senior, her partner from last year, Alec Belmas, graduated and is now attending UW Whitewater. So Martirana's partner for this tournament is Steven Mizuski. And of course, we just saw Oak Creek here recently in the 2017 high school kickoff Classic Team Tournament, finished in second place to Sun Prairie. Two teams in the semifinals here from Waukesha South and West. This first team consisting of Jennifer Zich and Peyton Nabak. Zich we saw in 2017 in one of our Road to Gold events during the summer here on Spectrum Sports, and Zich a little quick on that shot, leaving the 2-4-5. Once again, the Motion Plus Lanes tournament pattern for this event, it's 40 feet in length. It's about a 5-to-1 ratio. So the kids need to make good shots. They don't need to make PBA quality type shots. But a lot of times the mistakes that they make a little bit with speed, they kind of get intensified. And we see right there just the bad break for Zich as the 2-4 is chopped off the 5. The way his pattern's shaped, the kids really need to pay attention to ball speed because of a short transition from where the oil pattern is where it applies to the lane, and then it's buffed down a couple additional feet. That causes some transition to get a little squirrely sometimes. Mizuski comes up a little bit high, leaves just the 9-pin. Should be pretty happy with that result for that shot. Definitely left the target for Mizuski. As you check out the replay and just watch that ball. Strong roll through the pocket for Mizuski, leaving just the 9-pin. Wanted to thank his coach from Oak Creek High School, Jeff Wrobleski, for all his help improving his bowling over his 4 years in his career at Oak Creek. We saw Mizuski as a freshman make our Top Gun finals here at Motion Plus Lanes 3 seasons ago, and he'll be looking to return to the Top Gun Championships when we have those here in February, airing in March here on Spectrum Sports. And Peyton Nabak, the tall, lanky lefty, hits up on that ball effortlessly and gets all 10 to go back. Nabak has to be licking his chops, the only lefty on the pair lanes today. And he knows that shot is not going to change much for him. Martirana, a little bit in the oil early, and that doesn't allow the ball to turn over. Hits kind of weak, and we see The weak 10 pin left, and Martirana as a player knows what she wants to do on the lanes. Doesn't take a lot of time on the back of that approach. Doesn't usually cause her a problem, and unfortunately, a little unintentional foreshadowing there by myself. They call it the commentator's curse, but that's not true. We have nothing to do with what these players are doing on the lane, but an open frame for Oak Creek, and Waukesha Southwest takes an early lead on that errant shot. Zich won Class A singles in the Wisconsin Youth State Tournament last year. She's made a lot of improvements over her 4 years in high school, with Zich being a senior. That ball creeps up high through the nose, gets the lucky break to take the 4-7 down, leaving just the 6-10. And once again, the polyester ball, left to right, straight on the 6-10, no problem with the conversion, and the 2-pin lead for Waukesha Southwest after 3 frames. I want to thank our friend Joe Serrar at Bowlers Pro Shop for his 10-plus years of sponsorship here on our bowling telecast. He's got some great New Year's sales going on right now if you stop by the shop on South Howell Avenue. Or check out his website at bpsmilwaukee.com as Mizuski packs 10 back and keeps his team close in this match. First time we've seen Peyton Nabak on television. Using a ball that's got a little bit of polish to it, a little pearlized cover. He likes that length on this 40-foot pattern, playing relatively straight through the front part of the lane, and gets that ball to angle in nicely on the back. And another great pocket strike for Nabak, and it's not that often when we see these young players come out with a little bit of confidence on TV and pack back-to-back shots on their first time out, but we're seeing that with Nabak right now. High 5 gear 5th frame, nothing up for grabs with this being a doubles event. Usually in the singles events you see the $25 high 5 gear gift certificates that are awarded for strikes in the 5th frame, but Martirana is going to have a problem getting a spare here. 4-6-7 needs to bounce one of those 2 pins on the left out of the pit. Does not do so. And another big open frame for Oak Creek. And that's back-to-back opens for Martirana, and that's a little unusual. We see that young lady fill a lot of frames on TV. She's back talking to Coach Jeff Wroblewski about what to do next. Zich looking for the big strike to get in the commercial break once again. Comes up high, leaves the 6-10 for the second consecutive frame. That time just tried to give it a little extra on the bottom, pulled it a little bit left. That working ball gets rid of the pins on the left side, leaving just the cross lane spare for the 6-10. 5 steps to the line, and that's left to target, and polyester will still hook, and it hooks away from the 6-10. Close match here in our first semifinal for Motion Plus Lanes. 2018 Wisconsin High School Mixed Doubles Championship continues after this short break.
Barbier's Italian Inn, featured in onmilwaukee.com's In Search of the Perfect Pizza in January 2013. Near Miller Park on Blue Mound Road and on Milwaukee Avenue in South Milwaukee. Why do we have so many of our televised tournaments at Castle Lanes? Because we love being part of the wild side of bowling. If you're ready to get in touch with your wild side, go to castlelanes.com.
Well, open frames by both Oak Creek and Waukesha Southwest in the 5th frame leaves this match tied for our first semifinal. Semifinal number 2 will pit another team from Waukesha South and West against the team from Racine Park, as these bowlers look to battle for this Wisconsin High School Mixed Doubles Championship. Mizuski really gunned that shot out of the commercial break, and he knows it. You see the look on his face. Not happy with how he got that ball out of his hand. We saw him pack a strike in the 4th frame that was easily a mile an hour slower in ball speed than that shot. Of course, faster ball speed, no time for that ball to respond to friction, and leaves a very tough spare with that 7-pin. Added to the 2-4-5. No problem from Mizuski covering it up. I want to thank our friends at Saber Tag for coming on board, our latest sponsors here on our Spectrum Sports telecast. If you haven't gone out to Saber yet in Pewaukee, it is a fun time for the whole family with laser tag. One man that's throwing the ball like a laser right now, Peyton Nabak, came out with his first 2 strikes that time, definitely pointing the ball right through the front part of the lane. And that ball grabs a little early because of that, slices through the nose, and the baby split 2-7. Bowler Nabak's ability, I'd put about an 80% chance of conversion on that. Nabak wanted to thank his family for all the support they've given him with bowling since he started at the age of 6, and unfortunately for Nabak, slides past the 2-pin, back-to-back open frames on the board for Waukesha Southwest. And now it's up to Katmar Tirana to extend that lead for Oak Creek. The long athletic finish from Tirana and a huge break as she gets the high crossover, somehow manages to get the 6, 9, and 10 pins to go down after the head pin and 3-pin respectively take out the right side, and a big break for Oak Creek. But Waukesha Southwest far from out of it. Jennifer Zich looking to come back off of back-to-back open frames on her lane. Lane 10, and the best shot of the match there by Zich with basically the higher hard one. She firmed up her speed a little bit more, moved in a little farther left after leaving those back-to-back 6-10s. Use the oil pattern to your advantage and keep your team within 11 pins. Majewski, those long, lanky steps getting to the foul line, and he really gave it all that time. The overcorrection for the 2-4-5-7 in the 6th frame, and the Greek church left at the end of the lane. And we've had people ask why they call it a Greek church. Well, if you look at a lot of Greek architecture for churches, they have multiple spires on those churches, and the number of pins left at the end of the lane can kind of remind someone of a Greek church. Or if you're from the Milwaukee area, I kind of think it looks like St. Stanislaus down on 4th and Mitchell, but that's a whole nother story for another time. But that puts Waukesha Southwest in the lead while they are on the bench. And Peyton Nabak here, if he can double for his team, they will be in the driver's seat getting into the last 2 frames of this match. Nabak, that little slowdown from his pivot step into the slide, that's what helps him get all that leverage on the shot for being a tall player, and a big double and the 16-pin lead for Waukesha Southwest with 2 frames remaining in this match. Tirana up in frame number 9, and she knows what she wants to do on the lanes. Looks decent out of her hand, and a much better looking strike than her strike in the 7th, but they all count the same on the scoreboard, and that still gives an outside chance to Oak Creek to advance to the championship match, but it's going to take some help from their opponents from Waukesha Southwest if they want any chance to advance into the championship match. Zich, quality strike in the 7th frame last time on this lane. And that one, she just pointed a little bit to the left to start. She had the speed firm. Missing left through the nose. And this match is basically a tie match here, depending on the count that Zich gets on this spare. About a 1 in 1,000 shot for making the 4-6. And she gets the 6-pin, gets the count. And here's the situation. Oak Creek can shut out Waukesha Southwest if Stephen Majewski from Oak Creek can get a double and 3 pins in the 10th frame. That would give Oak Creek 171. Maximum score for Waukesha Southwest with striking out in the 10th frame would be 170. First ball of the 10th by Majewski. Gets the 6 to kick out the 10. The job is not over with yet for Majewski, but a quality pressure shot to still keep the dream alive for back-to-back Wisconsin high school mixed doubles championship titles going to Oak Creek High School. Majewski needs this one and 3 pins to assure Oak Creek advancing to the championship match. Same line as last time. packs all 10 straight back, no doubt. And now it's just stay behind the foul line and throw it straight as Majewski has a little fun with his Oak Creek teammates that are still watching the semifinal match. And we've seen Majewski with footwork issues before. Remember back to the Top Gun 3 years ago where he fouled on a fill ball where it could have got him into a roll-off with Billy Hibbard. Instead, let Hibbard advance to the championship match against Brent Boho. And, well, you talk about a couple of names that have gone on to great college careers from our high school events with Boho and Hibbard, now teammates at St. Ambrose. Steve Majewski could be one of those players, and Kat Maratorana could be some of those players for college teams next year as well, as they are both seniors. Nabak, only a sophomore, a couple of years in his high school career ahead of him, and I'll tell you what, good form for the young man. Uses that tall stature to his advantage and really gets that nice roll on the ball, doesn't try to overpower it. As he kind of grows into his frame a bit more as he matures, you can see him adding even a little more power to his game and really causing the pin some problems in the future. Look at that, carries the light bucket crumbler, trips out the 6-pin, and you know that you're on the right line with the right ball in your hand when you can carry those types of shots and put together a pretty good effort for his first time out on television. So Oak Creek advancing to the championship match, our semifinal match number 2 coming up here from Motion Plus Lanes. Pits another team from Waukesha Southwest against a team from Racine Park. And we'll be back at semifinal number 2 of the 2018 Wisconsin High School Mixed Doubles Championship. Providing premier equipment sales and services to Wisconsin bowlers since 1973. Check out our Wall of Fame and our current specials at bpsmilwaukee.com. Why just watch the action when you can be part of the action at Sabre Laser Tag in Pewaukee? Battle it out with family and friends using realistic military-style weapons. Check us out on the web at sabertag.com. Well, the weather outside might be a bit chilly. The action inside of Motion Plus Lanes in Cudahy, a little bit on the warm side. Good opening match, our first semifinal. Oak Creek advances to the championship match, 177 to 170 over a team from Waukesha Southwest. This is the second team from Waukesha Southwest to make the TV show, with Jalen Halen and Carter Lucas kicking things off here on lane 9. Hanen 10 back out of the gates. We've seen her numerous times on our Spectrum Sports bowling telecasts, and young lady that really knows how to keep the ball around the pocket. See that ball getting that strong roll 5 or 6 feet before the head pin and takes all 10 down. First television appearance for Caitlin Mertens. Her teammate McGuire Hanshy also will be his first time on TV. Mertens gets that ball rolling up nicely. Just comes up a little bit high, leaves the 4-pin. Mertens, part of that great youth program at Castle Lanes and Racine. Of course, Castle Lanes has been with us since the beginning of our Spectrum Sports bowling telecasts over all 11 seasons. And we're looking forward to having our next event on our high school programs at Castle Lanes. The 9th annual Midwinter High School Classic will be coming to you in a couple of weeks here on Spectrum Sports. And our first look on TV at Carter Lucas from Waukesha Southwest. Lucas, a junior, bowls at Sunset Bowl and at Foxview Lanes. And if you've been in the bowling league, you know recently the Hanen family, owners of Sunset Bowl, also purchased Fox Run Lanes, have now renamed it Foxview, the original lane's name when it opened back in the 70s. And they've done quite a bit of renovation to Foxview Lanes. If you haven't stopped in there in a couple of years, you should stop in and see what they've done to the place. It's very nice, very spacious. No doubt about that. Spare there for Lucas. Keeps things close. And let's take a look at McGuire Hanshee. Hanshee also a senior. High game of 288, high series 773. Once again, another player started young, age of 7. And Hanshee gets a little quick on that shot. Ball doesn't turn over fast enough. And the 2-8-10 is the result in pretty much a guaranteed open frame for Hanshee. Can be made, though. We've seen a lot of players in the PBA Tour to try to hit the 2-pin thin with a lot of speed, send it over into the 10, and then have something bounce back into the 8. Unfortunately for Hanshee, only one. Hopefully that count doesn't come back to haunt his team later on. An early 15-pin lead for Waukesha Southwest. Jalen Hayden, quite a few titles in local events. Also some great finishes in the Junior Gold National event over the past few years. Finishing in the top 100 in her age group every single year the past 3 years. Not an easy thing to do. The quality of competition from across the country. You see there one of the reasons why she's done so well at Junior Gold. Opens up with 2 strikes for her team, sandwiching the second frame spare. Mertens high game 288, high series 705, and she gets the 5 to slide into the 7-pin area, takes all 10 down. Made that move off that initial 4-pin, got that ball a little farther to the right. Let the friction of that 20 feet of dry here on this Motion Plus Lanes tournament pattern come to your advantage. Carter Lucas won $2.99 game to his credit. And unfortunately for Lucas, he set that one a little short. The ball rolls up high, and the quick instant replay showing the 4-6-7-10. Best thing to do here, get the count. Or give it a ride like he just did right there. Almost the Big 4 conversion. That would have been a $100 Visa gift card from EBC Productions if that would have been converted. Have yet to have a 7-10 or a 4-6-7-10 converted in the history of our shows here on Spectrum Sports. Can't wait till the first one happens. And of course, only one 3-under game during that time as well, and that happened here at Motion Plus Lanes. Hanshee, great shot there. Knew a strike would get his team into the lead with the double in the 3rd and 4th. Hanshee makes the adjustment off the 2-8-10. Gets the 6-pin, slam into the 10, doesn't even the sideboard. A 7-pin lead for Racine Park as we get into the high 5 gear 5th frame. Jalen Hannon, and we've seen her in a lot of good-looking high 5 gear jerseys in her time on television, and she's throwing a lot of good-looking strikes today. 3 for 3 for her team. The team of Hannon and Lucas advanced from the semifinals with a 3-game sweep over doubles team from Kenosha Bradford. And Racine Park advancing with a 3-game sweep over the mixed doubles team from Fort Atkinson High School. First time Fort Atkinson was represented at this event, and they had a good showing. That's one thing we've seen across the state. For a lot of years, it was Southeast Wisconsin and the Madison area that always had the strongest teams. It's not the case anymore, and I'm sure we're going to see a lot of teams from other parts of the state already have entries in from the Green Bay area, from the Madison area, from the Sheboygan area, for the Midwinter High School Classic, and there's going to be some good televised high school team bowling, and that airs on Spectrum Sports in the next couple of weeks. Good spare by Mertens, getting into commercial break for this game. Semifinal number 2 resumes from Motion Plus Lanes in Cudahy shortly.
Why do we have so many of our televised tournaments at Castle Lanes? Because we love being part of the wild side of bowling. If you're ready to get in touch with your wild side, go to castlelanes.com. Barbiere's Italian Inn, featured in onmilwaukee.com's In Search of the Perfect Pizza in January 2013. Near Miller Park on Blue Mountain Road and on Milwaukee Avenue in South Milwaukee.
Keep our players on track and on time. We had some action in through the commercial break. Carter Lucas in the 6th frame for Waukesha Southwest puts a double on the board for his team. Gets Waukesha Southwest back in the lead by 5 pins with that double. McGuire Hanchy, trouble again. 2-4, 8-10. 3 on the count, puts his team back down by 20. Jalen Hayden really looking to put the pressure on. Quality shot, but the 6 goes around the 10. That young experienced player switches the polyester ball right into the 10 pin. And with that, we're back to the action. Waukesha Southwest leading by 20 pins. Winner this match advances to the championship match. Oak Creek High School mixed doubles team of Katmar Tirana and Steven Majewski waiting in the wings for the winner of this match. Caitlin Mertens, senior from Racine Park, looking to keep her team close. Hooks up a little early on her, and this is looking like back-to-back open frames for Racine Park, and against a team with a player that has the experience. Jalen Hayden, any open you give Waukesha Southwest right now, they're going to take advantage of. And this match could be over quickly. I have no problem here if I'm a high school coach telling Mertens to go for it. You're already down by 20 pins. You're looking at being down by 30 with an open frame. You got to give it a shot. Just looking at it. Not a bad effort on that, giving it the run. But right now, 31 pins the advantage for Waukesha Southwest. And it's really up to Carter Lucas here. The 8th frame to set the table for his teammate. One would think a double in the 8th and 9th would pretty much end any chance Racine Park would have, especially with Park's maximum score right now if they were to strike out in the 8th, 9th, and 10th, being 196. Good break there for Carter Lucas. Rattles a bunch of pins around, manages to just leave the 2-pin. A lot of times as a coach, I like to tell players, especially younger players so they don't get amped up, just move 3 boards right with your feet, use your straight target, and you should end up right on top of that 2-pin. And Lucas seemingly hearing my advice from the booth. Knowing that's not the case, but a great spare conversion there, and 30 pins the advantage for Waukesha Southwest. And you don't want to say mandatory strike mode for Racine Park for Hanchy, with that 196 being the maximum and Waukesha Southwest pacing at 196. You have to let them know you're still in the match, and you have to throw a quality shot here in the 8th frame for Racine Park. Better off the hand than last time. Comes in a little bit late in the pocket. 6-pin you see does nothing on the 10-pin. And the conversion here, a necessity to have any chance. Open frame here, you can pretty much write off Racine Park. See right there, a lot of these young players going to the removable thumb inserts. They can switch from ball to ball to get the same feel. I highly suggest that for any bowlers that use more than one bowling ball. Those core materials always slightly different from ball to ball. Sometimes balls have a thicker cover stock than other bowling balls, and all it takes is a little bit of a less comfort feel from ball to ball, and that can take away a little bit of a young player's confidence. Get that same feel on each shot, and that should help with shot repetition. Right now here, a strike by Hayden in the foundation frame would set up her teammate quite well for locking up the semifinal match and advancing to the championship. And that is probably the worst shot we've seen by Hayden in about 3 years on television. Really delayed her push away. I think she just kind of overthought about that shot a little bit. And when you delay your push away that much, your foot's already stopped at the line. You're trying to get that ball through clean, and the bowler has a tendency to roll the shoulders a little past parallel of the foul line, and next thing you know, you pull the ball left, you get yourself in a lot of trouble. And that's another pull left, and a very lucky break for Hainan. If she was of legal age, I would suggest buying a lottery ticket after that spare attempt. Because not normally you make it bouncing the 1-3 off the sideboard into the 6, into the 9. But it's definitely a must-strike situation, the foundation frame here for Caitlin Mertens. Mertens with not much knee bend, a lot of forward tilt to help her get her leverage on the shot, and a good amount of leverage on that ball to take the 4-pin down late. And here's the situation, 26-pin lead for Waukesha South and West. Maximum score of 186 for Racine Park. A 9 count on the first ball, and a miss for Waukesha Southwest would be 180, so pretty much any mark and a few pins will lock it up. And Carter Lucas goes through the nose, and Racine Park has a second chance at life here in this second semifinal. See that ball slice through, no chance. The 2 and 3 split immediately side to side. And right now for Lucas, count somewhat irrelevant. Hooks into the 4-7, he gets the 2 pins. 178 is the total. Right now this is going to require a double and 3 pins for McGuire Hanshee of Racine Park to advance his team into the championship match. Anything less, it'll be Waukesha Southwest with Hainan and Lucas battling Martirana and Majewski from Oak Creek for this 2018 Wisconsin High School Mixed Doubles Championship. Cannot blame Hanshee for taking a little extra time. Knows it's an all-or-nothing shot right here. Needs not just this first strike, but he needs a second one as well. Quality shot on line, and it fades a bit back at the pocket, and the 7-10 is left, and the dream is over for Racine Park. Kind of a bad break, but we saw him leave a weak 10 last time on this lane, and you see the 6-pin rattle around, doesn't get to the 10. That ball just didn't finish strong enough, and that's something a lot of young players miss sometimes, is watching that ball roll and making the adjustments. Yes, it's a bad break, no doubt about it. Sometimes you got to read what the ball does and make the adjustment on it, so the roll gets stronger. And with that, the Waukesha Southwest against Oak Creek in the championship match here from Motion Plus Lanes. Join us for that championship shortly. Why just watch the action when you can be part of the action at Sabre Laser Tag in Pewaukee? Take the challenge in one of 2 5,500 square foot arenas. Battle it out with family and friends using realistic military-style weapons. Come out and celebrate a birthday, bring out your employees or coworkers for team building, or take advantage of our specials running Monday through Thursday. Check us out on the web at sabertag.com.
Why do we have so many of our televised tournaments at Castle Lanes? Because we love being part of the wild side of bowling. If you're ready to get in touch with your wild side, go to castlelanes.com.
'18 Wisconsin High School Mixed Doubles Championship from Motion Plus Lanes in Cudahy. Oak Creek looking to repeat as champions with Martirana and Majewski battling Waukesha Southwest with Hainan and Lucas. And the higher seeds were Waukesha Southwest. They decided they wanted to stay on lane 9. So Oak Creek with a little unfamiliar playing territory. They did get practice on lane 10 prior to this championship match, so they're not going in blind, but the comfort factor after winning their semifinal number 1 on lane 9 may go away a little bit. Good shot there by Hainan once again. And she leaves the ring 10. Hainan, 2 300 games to her credit, high series of 786. bowls. It's Sunset Bowl, Foxview Lanes, and Sussex Bowl. Of course, her brother Stefan Hanen and his wife Cassie, the general managers of Sussex Bowl. And last year at Sussex Bowl, Jalen Hanen won her title on the Road to Gold Tour, the Barbiers Italian Inn Open. Kat Toronto wasting no time getting up for Oak Creek. And rolls up nicely, doesn't quite do the job on the 10. So both of our young ladies here in this championship match need to find a way to kick that corner pin out. A lot of times for Toronto, it'll be just firm up the speed, get it a little more direct to the pocket, where Hanen will use a little slower ball speed and a little extra angle thanks to her ball roll to try to get the ball face up a little bit earlier and take the 10 out. So lots of ways to confront that pesky 10 pin. And we'll see a couple different approaches, no doubt, by our young ladies. Carter Lucas struggled a little bit kicking some corners out last match. Couple of splits as well. And a big, powerful strike for Lucas. I think he's made his adjustment on the lane. And is going to be a big factor in this championship match. Watch that powerful strike on replay. No doubt all 10 pins were going back. Steven Majewski, the big double in the 10th frame in our first semifinal to advance his team to this championship match. And he really got a fistful of revs on that shot. Saw how early that ball rolled up for him, and when it started going towards the head pin, it didn't stop. And the 4-6-7 left this early in the match. Best thing to do, get the 2 pins of count, move on. You never know when pin count could come in handy late in the match. That was the smart thing there, gets the 2. I've seen it numerous times on our shows where if a bowler gotten 1 or 2 extra pins of count on a strike or a spare, all of a sudden they get to the end of the match, and instead of needing 9 spare to get a win, they need a strike and a pin. And it's always easier to get that 9 spare. Maybe getting a bad break and leaving a solid 10 or a solid 8 at the end of the lane. And Hanen, a little left out of her hand, and you can just see she's looking. She didn't come out of that one very well. She's got a little protective thumb tape on her thumb. Don't think there's any issues with blisters or anything of that sort, but sometimes after a few games of use, those protective tapes, they get a little smooth. Any roughness that's on them gets worn off, and the smoother something is in the thumb hole, the quicker it's going to release. And in long tournaments, we've seen a lot of PBA pros take those protective tapes and change them after every 3, 4, 5 games, just to make sure there's still a fresh surface on that tape as well. It doesn't get worn down. Martirana, she made the adjustment off the temp. You can see she's back talking to Coach Jeff Ferretti, going, made the move. You saw a little more speed, a little more direct, and that time came up that little bit high. 2-pin could have done the job on the 4, but gets back to the 7. Misses the 4 entirely. Martirana, there you see the quick flip through, kills a little bit of the hook, and covers up the spare. Keeps Oak Creek within 14 pins of the Waukesha Southwest team. This is our 7th Wisconsin High School Mixed Doubles Championship we've had on Spectrum Sports, bringing you the 9th edition of the Midwinter High School Classic on our next program here on Spectrum Sports. As Carter Lucas gets another strike for Waukesha Southwest. They stay Dutch after 4 frames. And of course, in March, we'll be bringing you the High School Top Gun Invitational from here at Motion Plus Lane. Some of the best young players from across the state battling out in singles competition. And that is one event we know these high school players look forward to every single season. Majewski not happy with the speed control on that shot. Majewski normally throws the ball very firm anyway, and if you get a little bit amped up, a little extra adrenaline running, his mistake isn't going to be throwing it slower. It's going to be adding some more speed to it. And with the conversion, Oak Creek down by 17 pins. Championship match resumes. Motion Plus Lanes in Cudahy. after this break. Providing premier equipment sales and services to Wisconsin bowlers since 1973. Check out our Wall of Fame and our current specials at bpsmilwaukee.com. To keep us on time here in our championship match for the 2018 Wisconsin High School Mixed Doubles Championship, we had the bowlers roll through the commercial break. Jalen Haanen from Waukesha Southwest gets tapped with the 10-pin, continues with the Dutch treatment for her team. Alternating strikes and spares through the first 5 frames. Kat Martirana from Oak Creek not happy with the release. Almost gets the big break to scramble out the 7-pin on the light hit. No problem going direct at that spare. Carter Lucas from Waukesha Southwest looking to put another strike on the board. And he's 3 for 3 on strikes this championship match. Majewski looking for his first strike of this championship match. Finally gets himself lined up into the pocket. And the advantage, 18 pins for Waukesha Southwest as we get into our last 4 frames of this 2018 Wisconsin High School Mixed Doubles Championship. From here at Motion Plus Lanes, I'm Phil Brylow here with you. And as you see there, Majewski watching that one till all 10 pins enter the pit. Jalen Haanen in the pocket, 3 shots, yet to carry any of those 3 shots. And that is once again well left the target. We've seen her make the mistake earlier today. And I think she just overthinks the timing a little bit. Push away gets a little late, and next thing you know, the slide stops, the ball's got to get through, and it gets kind of pushed past the ankle left. And this, basically you're shooting at this like a 3, 6, 9, 10, except you don't get the advantage of the 6-pin to maybe get you a little deflection. Back in the 9, this is going to take a quality shot by Haanen to convert, and she's dead on. What a pressure cover by Jalen Haanen to keep her team up by 18 pins. And she has to feel pretty good right now because even with a little bit of her struggles, her partner Carter Lucas has done nothing but strike in this championship match. Kat Martirana, after a couple shots in the pocket, gets a little quick out of her hand. Skates just past the pocket, leaving the 2-4-5. And as we've seen earlier today, Jennifer Zich chopped this spare earlier today. Anytime you leave multiple pins, you can get yourself in trouble. And Martirana with the chop as well. And a big deficit now for Oak Creek, 30 pins. They're down to Waukesha Southwest. And the way Carter Lucas is throwing the ball, you have to think it's going to stay at 30 pins. Lucas 3 for 3 in this championship match on strikes. The long, lanky slide step, that comes up high. And talk about the break so far of 2018 for Carter Lucas. First of all, the unusual almost leave of a 6-8-10 as a right-handed player. You see that ball deflect after it hits the 5-pin, and then something rolls back across, takes out the 6-10, and this goes from a most likely open frame down to just single pin spare, which he easily converts. Leaves the lead at 29 pins for Waukesha Southwest. And you have to be thinking mandatory strike mode for Oak Creek. 200, Oak Creek's maximum score at this time. 199, the pace of Waukesha Southwest. Majewski really firmed up that shot, took some of the hook out of play, and puts all 10 back to keep the hopes of Oak Creek alive for back-to-back championships here in the Wisconsin High School Mixed Doubles Championship. Majewski knew that was solid out of his hand. Haanen just has to throw off that last bad shot out of the memory bank, get a little focus, get herself back in the pocket. A little late with the push away again, and that's left one more time. And it's really easy to overanalyze a shot, and I think that's kind of gotten to her the last couple of frames. Lucky to leave just the 5-pin, and she's going back looking at that thumb tape once again as well. But right now, your focus is just make the 5-pin, because after this, you're just basically turning into a cheerleader for your teammate. You're 5 frames now in the books. And you need to make your teammate come through in the clutch. Much better release for Hanen on that 5-pin. Covers it up nicely, but now this is the biggest shot of this young lady's career. She made a big shot last year to set up her partner to win this mixed doubles title. She needs to do it again. Martirana, 9th frame, good out of the hand, and 10 straight back. And she goes, why can't I just do that all the time? But she made the shot when she had to. She keeps her team in the match. Right now, 200 the maximum for Oak Creek. But if Carter Lucas can double in the 10th frame, that will make any effort by Oak Creek a moot point, as that would put Waukesha Southwest into the 2 teens. So Carter Lucas with the chance to shut out the match for Waukesha Southwest. Little left to target, hooks early, and it's a repeat of a shot in the 10th frame of the second semifinal. Through the nose, big split, and now a chance for Oak Creek to step up and win, even with a miracle conversion by Carter Lucas. He got 3 on this when he left it in the second semifinal. He's giving it a ride now. Only gets 2, and it's a 182. Waukesha Southwest. That means Steven Majewski has to step up here and throw a strike, first ball of the 10th frame, and stay behind the foul line to wrap up the second consecutive Wisconsin State High School Mixed Doubles Championship for Oak Creek. Left out of his hand, it needs to hold. He's pointing for it to cross over. And he looked up at the scoreboard right before he started his approach. I think that threw him off a little bit. I think he tried to double check the score, and he didn't take any extra time on the approach or step off to take a look at the score, and I think he kind of rushed the shot. You see Martirana back there. Knew how important that shot was. She was jumping up and down in the air, but failure to carry that high hit means Waukesha Southwest, Jalen Hanen and Carter Lucas are going home with the 2018 Wisconsin State High School Mixed Doubles Championship. And Majewski not happy with that effort, first ball of the 10th, but something tells me there's still a couple of months left in the high school season. There's still the Midwinter Classic. There's still the Top Gun Invitational. And, of course, the Wisconsin High School State Tournament in Wausau in March. These young players will all be battling through. Waukesha Southwest takes home the title from here at Motion Plus Lanes. We're back to wrap up this championship match.
Live, on demand, worldwide, Extra Frame is always on. It's the online bowling channel. Watch live qualifying rounds and match play from every PBA Tour stop and every PBA 50 Tour event on your big screen, PC, mobile phone, or tablet. Archived nationally televised shows and content is available 24/7. Extra Frame is always on. Subscribe now at www.extraframe.tv.
Why just watch the action when you can be part of the action at Sabre Laser Tag in Pewaukee? Battle it out with family and friends using realistic military-style weapons. Check us out on the web at sabertag.com. Lots of excitement here today for the 2018 Wisconsin State High School Mixed Doubles Championship. All 3 of our matches down to the 10th frame. In that championship match, Waukesha Southwest had the chance to lock up the match. Carter Lucas, though, threw the nose for the big split. That let Steven Majewski from Oak Creek have the chance to step up and strike to win the match, but Majewski, high shot, leaves the 3-pin, and the title goes home to the Waukesha South, Waukesha West Co-op with Jalen Hanen and Carter Lucas. More high school bowling coming up on our next show here on Spectrum Sports. The 9th annual Midwinter High School Classic from Castle Lanes and Racine. We will be crowning champions in the boys and girls divisions at Castle Lanes. I'm Phil Bridle. Parents, take the kids bowling. They will have fun for life, and we'll see you at our next show.